Okay, we will revise again. So many different congenital heart diseases are present. Among them, what are the commonest one? That will be ventricular septal defect, that is VSD, contains 30% of total congenital heart disease. Then PDA, patent ductus arteriosus, contains 10% of the whole congenital heart disease. Then ASD. So first is VSD, PDA, ASD, and you'll be having a coarctation of aorta in the 7%. These are the acyanotic diseases. So many diseases are there which is congenital that may happen, but so many different are very small in amount. But such case where there will not be having any cyanotic changes, cyanotic appearance, huh? Where there will be a no cyanotic spell or no bluish discoloration to the patient. So these are the acyanotic disease. In the among the cyanotic disease, this can be cyanotic in the later age. This like VSD, AS, not ASD, but VSD and PDA can be cyanotic in later age where there will be a change in a pressure from right side to left side, where there will be a more pressure from the right heart, so that deoxygenated blood will deliver to the left side. So ultimately, deoxygenated blood will go to the whole body. So there will be a cyanotic appearance. Yeah. So VSD, which is most common, VSD, between the two uh, ventricles, there will be a septum, and the opening will be patent. It will not be closed at the age of birth. So when baby born, it need to be closed within hours or within a 2 to 3 days. But somehow, because of some maternal infections or delayed milestone, or we can call it a preterm baby, this opening may not be closed. And because of that, there will be a persistent opening that is known as a ventricular septal defect. There is a opening which is persistent after the birth also. It need to be closed just after the birth, but it will not be closed because of certain reasons. That is known as a ventricular septal defect. Yeah. So we have gone for the various different diagnostic features and clinical features. So in the VSD, you have to remember harsh systolic murmur, where left lower sternal border. Left lower sternal border, you may feel harsh systolic murmur. That is a sign of VSD. So when there is a less or very small amount of VSD, the outcome is very good. And with the echocardiography, we can diagnose this also. Yes. So the treatment is generally asymptomatic. The patient will be asymptomatic because there will not be a much symptom in the patient, which is need to worry. So small VSD can automatically be closed gradually. Yeah. If VSD is more, then we need to go for some closer surgical technique. Yes. Okay. Yeah. PDA, you know very well. PDA is what? Patent ductus arteriosus. What is PDA? There was a communication between the arch of aorta, yes, and the pulmonary aorta in the intrauterine life. So when the baby will born, because of this oxygen concentration will be changed inside the baby's blood. Automatically, that need to be closed. Pressure changes and concentration pH changes will automatically close these uh, vessels, and gradually it will be just ligamentum arteriosus. But in case of some maternal infection, trauma, or uh, delayed development, early preterm baby, where there will not be a closure of this arteriosus artery between the duct between the pulmonary aorta and arch of aorta. That condition is known as what? Patent ductus arteriosus. That need to be closed within the 4 to 7 days after the birth. Generally, it need to be closed. Uh, May take some weeks also, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, maximum 15 days. But if it is keep on persisting, then it is the matter to worry. So we need to go for some surgical thing. So there is a communication between this arch of aorta and pulmonary aorta. Fine. So the closure is sometime if it is very small, then no need to go for that. So it is automatically closed because of the pressure changes, oxygen pressure changes in newly born baby. And because of some vasoactive compound, huh, as baby uh, born, it takes oxygen through the nose. Before it was what was happened, the oxygen was getting by uh, pulmonary aorta and send it to the whole body. But now, what will happen? The baby will born and they will cry. They will take oxygen through the nose. So lungs will be expanded. As the lungs will be expanded, all the fluid will be resolved. As the lungs are filled with the oxygen, there will be pressure changes. And because of this vasoactive compound, which stimulates proliferation of the cells, and there will be fibrosis and complete closure of this communication artery will be there. So there will be only fibrosis. There is ligamentum arteriosus. Now there is no patent ductus arteriosus. But in case of a preterm and maternal infection, it will be patent. Yes, fine. Now what is the clinical features of this PDA? Loud, continuous machinery like murmur will be present and best heard of at the upper left side of the sternum. Yes, in the sternum upper left side, you can feel okay, there will be some continuous murmur, like continuous. The blood is coming from the aorta to pulmonary aorta. Again, it goes to lungs. Again, it goes to left ventricle. Again, it goes to the. So some part will be continuously going on. That is called as loud, continuous machinery like murmur. So if you feel like this, if you place your hand over the left side, you can feel okay. There is continuously some vibratory thing is going on. Some sensations are there. That is called as a palpable thrill. So in the PDA, you have to note down like it is machinery like murmur. This is the clinical features of the PDA. Yes, and if you see the pulses, there will be a peripheral pulses will be bounding peripheral pulses will be there and can be felt at the wrist or you can see the dorsum of the feet like dorsalis pedis because the whole blood pressure will be very high. The pulses will be very bounding. Yeah. So machinery like murmur, then palpable thrill and bounding pulse are the symptom and sign of PDA. Yes. The treatment is what? Simple ligation. Huh? Simple, they will ligate and that's all. And the treatment is you need to administer or you need to guide patient that need to take antibiotics for to prevention of the endocarditis. And so many cardiac patients they'll be more prone for infection and that lead to so this whole congenital disease all valvular disease ultimately may lead to endocarditis and endocarditis is very serious condition. So prophylactic antibiotics are required. Then coactation of the aorta. Already we had discussed about the coactation. What is coactation of aorta? Yes. So generally, 80% children will be having very mild coactation. Huh? But other than that, that other 20% will be having extensive constriction of the aorta. So what will happen? There will not, if cardiac output is present, but it is not going into the whole body. The blood which is ejected from the heart, it is not reaching to the whole body as depending on their requirement. So some children may not have any symptom when they reach to adolescence. But some patient will be, as they reach to the 15 or 30 years, they suddenly shows the sign and symptom. Yes. So see what will happen. There will be a tree branch. Yes. And the just after the last branch that is left subclavian artery, After that, there will be a patent ductus arteriosus. So just before the patent ductus arteriosus or ligamentum arteriosus, when there will be a constricture, this is called as a preductal. Before the ductus arteriosus, this is known as a preductal. And just after the ductal, this is known as a postductal. So preductal and this is postductal. Yes. So this is adult type, and in the infant you can see preductal, infantile type. So where the constricture is happening, before the duct or after the duct, yes, that is known as a preductal or postductal. Yes. So there may be a preductal, postductal, and ductal. If there is a duct, ductus arteriosus, at the center of the ductus arteriosus, it is known as a ductal. Narrowing occurs at the insertion of the ductus arteriosus. Yes. Before that, that is known as a preductal. After this, this is known as a postductal. And this will all can be present with the intracranial aneurysm. See what will happen. See when it is closed. So what will happen? There will be a much more higher pressure in the proximal part. So in the head and right side of the neck. Yes. But if you see left side, this means right and left, all upper limb will be with the high pressure. Head and neck will be with the high pressure. But if you see in the abdomen, in the lower limb, you'll be having very low pulse, very low blood pressure. So there will be, because of more and more pressure, there will be a weakening of the wall, and then may happen intracranial aneurysm. Aneurysm is what? Dilatation of the artery, yeah, in the brain. Yes. So is I I I expected that you know the branches of the arch of aorta. Unfortunately, I need to discuss this thing. See, this is the three branch. Yes, these are the three main branch of arch of aorta. First branch is brachiocephalic trunk. The name is what? Right brachiocephalic trunk. Yes. Then middle one will be what? Left common carotid artery. Middle one will be what? Left common carotid artery. So the brachiocephalic trunk will be giving another branch like right common carotid artery and right side vertebral artery and right side subclavian artery. So brachiocephalic artery giving three branch. Three branch. First one is right common carotid artery, right vertebral artery, and right subclavian artery. Then second branch of the arch of aorta is left common carotid artery, only one. And then branch, left brachiocephalic trunk will give another branch like left vertebral artery and left subclavian artery. Subclavian artery gives branch to axillary artery, and axillary artery ultimately brachial artery. And brachial artery will go for a radial and ulnar artery. And there will be a arch, palmar arch that will generate. The palmar arch, that is what? Aortic, this thing, collateral channels, collateral arterial supply. So these are the thing. So where the coactation happen? So see, here somewhere there will be a ductus arteriosus. So here just before the duct, if it is constricture, this is not, it was preductal. After the duct, when there is a constriction or narrowing, that is known as a preductal. So what will happen? There will be a much more pressure in the head and neck and both upper limb. But if you see in the lower limb, there will be a very low pressure. In the abdomen, there will be very low pressure. Kidney, there will be very low pressure. Yes, are you getting this? So femoral pulse absent or weak, and high pressure in the upper limb, low pressure in the legs. Yes. So ultimately you'll be having this sign. What they say, more than 80% of the coactation are situated just beyond the ductus arteries, and unfortunately beyond the beginning of the left subclavian artery, which supplies blood to the left upper limb. So that may survive the patient. Yeah. What are the sign and symptom? As I mentioned, hypertension or high blood pressure in the upper limb, low blood pressure in the legs. Yes, lack of adequate blood supply to lower limb causing coldness, numbness, heaviness, legs and feet. Pain in muscle as they do not get proper amount of oxygen supply. They may have a lower limb, intermittent claudication and leg cramps also. They may have a dizziness, headache, nosebleed, and shortness of breath and palpitation because of high pressure. Because as the arch of aorta is delivering blood with the high pressure, but because of the narrowing of the arch of aorta, the post narrowing, there will not be proper amount of the pressure. So as the pressure is not maintained, the pulse are weak and the patient will not get proper amount of the blood supply. There will be a problem like this. And you may have angina, heart failure, aortic rupture, cerebral hemorrhage because of very high pressure, maybe aneurysm. uh, So all the pressure or the patient should be screened to exclude Berry aneurysm, polycystic kidney diseases, bicuspid aortic valve. See what will happen? Endocarditis of bicuspid valve, that is mitral valve, or the aortic valve in the arch, or just distal to the coarctation may occur. Hmm? There may be a high chance of having an infection. So you need to rule out with this complications. Yes. So what will be the treatment? What you can do? Simple, just insert a guide wire with the balloon, and then balloon may inflate. So there will be a correction of this uh, pathology. But again, there may be a reoccurrence. So you are correcting the thing, but reoccurrence chances are very high. Yeah. Another thing is when there is a constricture of the aorta, the kidney uh, will get very less amount of blood, and because of that less pressure, again the hormones or enzymes which is released by your kidney, that is ACE inhibitors. So they will cause more and more secretion. So what will happen? They cause more and more hypertension. So you need to correct this thing also. Now the tetralogy of Fallot. So in the whole form of CHD, the incidence of this Fallot tetralogy is 6%. They may go for F or T. They may write as a T or F. So T or F means tetralogy of Fallot, or F or T means also Fallot tetralogy. So you need to be remember that tetralogy of Fallot can be asked. Okay, so they contain four things. First is ventricular septal defect. Then you'll be having a right ventricular obstruction. Yes. Then dextro position of aorta. So usually aorta need to be from left ventricle. Huh? The origin of the aorta need to come from the left ventricle, but the right ventricle is giving origin to your aorta. So all the uh, deoxygenated blood will be delivered to whole body. So this is the scenario. Dextro position. Dextro position is wrong position. Yes. Okay. Then some anomalies, maybe like ASD, VSD, that may be there, or maybe right to left shunt will be present with the pulmonary hypertension and enlargement or hypertrophy of the right ventricle. Yeah. So many different conditions. Then the person may survive that because of God grace only. Yes. All are cyanotic. All the children are cyanotic, symptomatic and cyanotic, with the severe shortness of breath and will be mild exertion, fatigue, and syncope that may go for the convulsion, as the brain will not get proper amount of oxygenated blood. So which is the position where they will get good amount of relaxation? The most comfortable position which results in less cardiac burden is what? Can you tell me anyone? Which is squatting position. So the any patient, any patient, not cardiac patient, respiratory patient, any patient whose muscles are very weak, whose respiratory muscles are very weak, whose diaphragm muscles are weak, unable to inhale. So they will assume like this position. They fully squat. Huh? How they will use Indian toilet? Yes. How the people will use Indian toilet like squatting. So they will go for knee to chest and like this. So in case of that knee to chest, fully flexed hip and knee, fully flexed hip and knee joint. Are you able to listen my voice, student? So in the full squatting position, the people will feel relaxed because the diaphragm is in the most efficient position that may give some relaxation. So the child at rest often resorts to a squatting position and may lie with the knee drawn to chest. Huh? Knee will be drawn to the chest, so the baby will feel relaxed. So this is the position where the people will feel relaxed. Yes, and all the uh, children with this problem, they are underdeveloped, or we can call it early or preterm babies will be having this problem. So usually after 1 year, the ends of the fingers have curious club shape and toes may be heavy. Okay, somehow you are surviving the baby. Somehow you are giving some oxygen or you are surviving the baby. But ultimately because of chronic hypoxemia, they may develop clubbing. As you know, because of the chronic deficiency of the oxygen in case of a COPD, bronchiectasis, and emphysema, any other disease where there will be chronic hypoxemia like cystic fibrosis, they may develop clubbing. So in this also, phylotetralogy also, this is the cyanotic disease where we'll be having very less amount of oxygenation. You may have clubbing. Then same as the PDA, you may have a systolic thrill, palpable thrill, along with the loud systolic murmur heard over the lower left sternal border. In the VSD, we have heard this thing over the left sternal border. See, here you will feel, in the phylotetralogy, you will feel left sternal border palpable thrill. And if you want to confirm the diagnosis, echocardiography only can confirm the diagnosis, where it will show you the ability to uh, heart muscle, left ventricle, left atrial, right atrial wall, how it is contracting, whether it is proper or not. So all can be assessed with the echocardiography, and that may require angiography or three-dimensional CT scan to confirm this color. Yes. So this is the end of this thing. Yeah.